Hi guys, quick video today. Do you need an Lbracket? That's what I'm answering. And for landscape photography, the answer is an absolute yes. And that's when shooting on a tripod. And I'm going to be showing you examples of when I'm shooting. And when I was looking up the examples, I actually found in almost every genre that I shoot in, I use the Lbracket. So the most important thing about using an Lbracket is it allows you to quickly change to shooting into portrait. So traditionally, if you're shooting just with your base plate on the bottom, you would have your tripod and your camera attached like this, and then if you wanted to shoot in portrait, you would have to rock down into this little cradle in your tripod. And what that does, if you can see it, is it actually destabilizes your tripod. It puts your center of axis of gravity off of the center of the tripod and to the side. So it's fine when you're on a flat level surface like I am here, not a problem, can do that. But when you're shooting on rocks, seascapes, when you're in the sand, in the desert, and you're not on a flat even surface, which is most of the cases in landscape photography, it's going to off-center your tripod and it's going to make it very easy to bump it or knock it over. So this is when cameras fall in the water, this is when they fall over, when the wind blows them, and you're just getting rid of that center of gravity from the center of the column of the tripod. Secondly, an Lbracket is really important because it just makes it easier to position and move around. So when you're doing astrophotography, you're in this cradle, it is a lot more difficult to move around. You can be blocked by the legs of the tripod as well. Whereas when you are using the Lbracket and you're just switching to vertical format, you can see it is a lot easier with the ball head for me to maneuver around, find the composition I want to do, slightly to the left, slightly to the right, down, up, pivot, and lock it in, and I have that nicely balanced tripod. So Lbracket really essential when shooting portraits in landscape, makes it quick and easy. Another thing I find is that when people are just using the base plate and they're getting low to the ground and they want to shoot a portrait shot, it becomes quite difficult and cumbersome to move to the side and find that notch, and then they actually won't attempt to shoot the composition because it's difficult to get into the right position. So having an Lbracket means you'll probably shoot more shots in portrait and you won't miss out on them because you find it a lot easier to position your compositions. And lastly, the last thing I wanted to point out with the Lbracket is that it also protects your camera. So it does add a little bit of weight, but that's fine. Do a few extra push-ups, get rid of something else in your bag. It's worth carrying the weight. So I don't know if you can see on my Lbracket, it's taken quite a few nicks and dings and scrapes over the 5 years of its life. And that means it's protected my camera body from those dings and scrapes and nicks. So it's also really nice if you're traveling a lot, if you're going to remote places, hiking, you're quite rough on your gear, having the Lbracket helps with that a lot. And then if you're like me and you got maybe slightly bigger hands than the average person, having the Lbracket, especially with the wraparound by the grip, just gives me something for my pinky to rest on and actually makes it much nicer to hold in my hand using the Lbracket. But most important thing for the Lbracket is that you can quickly switch into portrait mode, lock in, and then you have that flexibility and control, and you are super stable when shooting your landscapes, astrophotography, or seascapes.